Hi everybody, welcome back to the second video of periodic classification of elements. You know that already in the first video we have studied there were three scientists have attempted to classify the elements of their ages. Okay, the first one Doberer, and he has given us a triad law. Second one was a Newland, he has given us a laws of octave. Third one was Mendeleev's periodic table. Okay, so we followed Mendeleev's periodic table for so many years, around 40 to 42 years, up to 1913, you know that, understood. And even the modern periodic table was constructed on his basis of the classification. Only small correction we made in this one. Okay, that correction was given by two scientists. In some books that was given only the Henry Moseley, who was an England chemist. You know that in the year 1914 he was died in his age of 28 only in the World War First. Okay, when the war was going between the Turkey and this England, that time he died, understood. Okay, so you can see the pictures of Dmitry Mendeleev here, and Alfred Nobel, Marie Curie, who has extracted the radium 88th element in a pure form, like that Ernest Rutherford and Albert Einstein. Okay, so all right, in the year 1913, when Henry Moseley was working on a X-ray spectroscope, so he simply has come to a idea that instead of classifying the elements on the basis of the atomic masses, simply if you classify the elements on the basis of atomic number, or atomic number in the sense number of protons or number of electrons present in an atom, okay, that will be the better base, or that will be the better fundament for the classification of elements. Like that, he has given his opinion, and this table actually was constructed by the Niels Bohr, understood. Okay, so in some books it was not mentioned, but take the Niels Bohr's name also. Why? Because I am telling you, he was the only scientist who was challenging the openly with a famous scientist of his age, that is Albert Einstein. Okay, that's why we have to remember him also. And even in the lower grade we have studied about the Niels Bohr's atomic model also, understood. Okay, then and the 1913 the concept of atomic number was given by the Henry Moseley. Okay, all right. So what is that modern periodic tables base or law? We can say simple, a small change in the Mendeleev's periodic law. What is that? The physical or chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic number, not atomic mass. Atomic mass was given by Mendeleev, whereas here we are changing a small the word, that is atomic number. Why? Because no two elements are having same atomic number. Okay, that the only one small correction made the anomalies of or limitations of Mendeleev periodic table disappear. Almost it just washed out all the limitations of Mendeleev's periodic table, understood. So just we can see here, that is what the modern periodic law, you can take it down. The properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic number. That's it. I will say it slowly and take it down, note it down. Properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic number. Okay, so the periodicity we can see in the electronic configuration also, that we will discuss. Before that, so what is this modern periodic table? Even one more name of this one, we call it as a long form of periodic table. Long form of periodic table. Okay, then. So our modern periodic table is having 18 vertical lines. You can see here from 1 to 18, you can see in this one. So the vertical lines are called groups, and 7 horizontal lines. 7 horizontal lines are called periods. Okay, all right. So we are studying only first 2 groups in our 10th class and the last 6 groups. The entire modern periodic table, if you observe it, it is filled with more number of metals. We discussed about this in the metals and non-metals also. As I told you, each lesson in chemistry are interlinked. Okay. So, here maximum are metals. You can see here red color, the elements which are synthetic one, man made, that means in the laboratory on the basis of the properties he just have prepared it, and you know that in the earth or in the earth only we are having 94 elements which are available abundantly. Understood? Okay then. And one more thing just I want to highlight here, just as as a extra knowledge you can take. Mendeleev has given us such a wonderful periodic table. Okay, so then also he has not got any Nobel prizes. Okay then, but we have given a place in the new table, that is modern periodic table. What is that place? That is, see here you can 101 Un was the 101st element name, but now it is changed into Mendeleevium. It is changed into Mendeleevium, so that to respect the Mendeleev, we are given the name to the 101st element, his name only. Understood? And in his time also the noble gases were not discovered, and you know that he has given a table such a way that without disturbing his table we can place the inert gases, rare gases in the table itself separately. Even in the modern periodic table also we have kept it in a separate group only, and these noble gases were discovered by William Ramsay, who got the Nobel Prize in the chemistry for this. Okay, as an extra knowledge you can take it. Okay then, right. See here, this pink colored elements you are seeing, those are all gaseous in state. Okay, gaseous in state, and the bottle green color which are separating this part and that part are metalloids, which lies between the character of metal and non-metal. Okay, and this side what you are seeing, these are all metals, and after this wall, after this metalloids what you are seeing, those are all non-metals. Even hydrogen will also come in the non-metal only. Okay, only because of its valency, first valency 1, that's why we kept it in the first group. Okay, as I told you, these are groups, these are periods. Understood? And in the 10th class we are going to study only the representative elements or only the model elements, common elements. The first 2 groups and the last 6 groups we are going to study. We are not going to study this middle 10 groups. And I will tell you the name of these groups also. The first 2 groups are called S block, middle 10 are D block, last 6 are P block, and below after 56, 57 and after 88, 89 up to 71 and 103 respectively, we placed below the periodic table. These are all the continued part of 6th and 7th period only, and just to not to disturb this, not to destroy the beauty of this periodic table, we simply kept the F block elements. These are all F block elements which are continued part of 6th and 7th periods and 3rd group, continued part of the 3rd group. See here, so these are comes under the 3rd group and having the similar properties of a 3rd group. That's why if you write it in this 3rd group itself only, it was not giving such a beautiful periodic table. That's why for our convenient purpose we just have kept these 14 elements under the periodic table. Okay, under this table, in the bottom of the periodic table you can take. and these 14 elements which we have kept bottom of the periodic table are F block. And S means sharp, P means principal, D means diffused, F means functional, fundamental. Okay. So, this inner 10 groups we call those are the transitional elements or heavy elements. These are gradually changing from metallic character to non-metallic character. Understood? And that is why we call these are the heavy metals. Here F block elements are inner transitional elements. Understood? These two things we are not going to study in the 10th class. In the higher grade you are studying it. So, simply we will take the common elements, that is first 2 groups and the last 6 groups. In the last 6 groups also we will not consider these noble gases. Of course, noble gases we are using in so many field, like argon we are filling it in the incandescent bulb, helium and neon we are using for the laser purpose, and neon which gives a red color when light falls on it. That is why in the naming of boards we are using the neon gases. In so many field we are using, no doubt, but we are not studying right now here with this, only the boron to fluorine we are studying. Okay. And here I will tell you something about this one. The 17th group you can see here, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. This one is a halogen group. Even astatine is a radioactive element. You can see here a star like structure is given. This one, that is given to the radioactive element. Okay. And this one is called as a fluorine family. Here you can call this as a oxygen family, nitrogen family, carbon family, boron family. The first element in the respective groups are called the first member of these groups, and we call that group from the first the elements family only, like that boron family, carbon family, nitrogen family, oxygen family, and fluorine family, like this. Oxygen family we call those are the chalcogens. Why? Because they will react with the metals and gives us a ore. Okay. So, that is why we find the ore, maximum ores of these compounds only. For example, Fe2O3, Fe3O4, ZnS, HgS, Cus. See, these are the ores of our metals. Okay. All right. And the nitrogen families are called as pnictogens, Pnictogenes, pnictogens. So, these will give a choking product, that means a suffocative or some kind of suffocating product when they react with some other elements. Understood? That is why those are called pnictogens. Okay. Extra point you can take it down. All right then. Sir, you see here in the first period we are having only 2 elements. See here, first hydrogen and helium. That is why the shortest period is first period. Second period is short. Second and third you can see only 8 are there. 1, 2 and other 6. Here also 1, 2 and other 6 in the P block. Okay. So, 8 only. And in 4th and 5th you can see, please take down these. First one is the shortest, this is short, these 2 are short and these 2 are long periods, whereas 6th one is the longest one. Why, sir? Because it is having 18 here and 14 below, that is 32, totally 32. That is why longest we can call that as a longest period. 7th one still so many elements are yet to discover, they are under the discover pipe. That is why the 7th period we can call it as a incomplete. Okay, incomplete period. Like this 7 periods you can make into a shortest. First one, second, 2 and 3rd is the short, 4th and 5th one is the long, 6th one is the longest, 7th one is the incomplete. Like this you can make. And one more beauty I tell you, the first period is having 2 elements, that is hydrogen and helium. Both are having only one orbit. Both are having only one orbit. Like that you can take a lithium and beryllium. Lithium and beryllium. So lithium and beryllium are having 2 orbits. 2 orbits. That means the electrons which are arranged in these 2 elements are in 2 orbits only. That means it is having K and L shell, whereas these are having only K shell. Like this, in the 3rd period and 4th period, you can take sodium and magnesium are having 3 orbits, K, L, M, like this. Understood? So 4th one is having 4 orbits. These all the elements which are lying in the 4th orbit are having 4 orbits. Okay, 4th period elements are having 4 orbits like K, L, M, N. Understood? All the electrons in their atoms will fit into fit inside the 4 orbits only. Understood? That's why that is one more beauty you can take. Okay then, right. So next one, in this itself only, you see in the first group, all hydrogen, its electronic configuration is 1 only. Lithium you can take lithium 2 and 1, sodium you can take 2, 8, 1, and potassium you can take 2, 8, 8, 1, like this. So almost their valency is 1, 1, 1 only. That means on this base you can say the electronic, even in the electronic configuration also we can see the periodicity. Periodicity means what? As we discussed in the first video also, that means after a fixed interval of time the similar properties will reoccur. See, after the 2, 1, after the 3rd element, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th element will have once again the outermost orbit having only 1 electron, that is valence is 1. Here also in the potassium you can see the valence is 1. Okay, understood? That's why all the first group elements are having the valency 1. Second group elements are having the valency 2. Okay, that's why these are all putted into the second group. And you see here the 13th group, 14th group, we are not studying this, don't worry about this. 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th are having the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 valence electrons, but valence is 3, 4 and 3, 2, 1, 0. You know the valency, the combining capacity of atom. Okay, all right. So let us see some properties. Understood? Okay, what are those? First one, we will see the valency. So in the valency, if you count along the group as we discussed, remains the same. In the first group, valency remains same, first only. In the second group, valency remains same, that is 2 only, 2 plus. Okay. So in the 13th group, valency remains the same, that is 3 plus. Okay. Along the group, valency remains the same. Understood? Sir, if you are having the valence electrons 3, 4, 5, 6, then how to find out the groups, sir? If you ask me that, very simple. If you are having the valence electrons, that means the electrons present in the outermost orbit are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Simply add plus 10 to it, you will get the group's number also. Why? Because the 3 to 12 are D block elements, which are these are almost 10 groups are there. If you add a 10 to the valency 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 after 2 electron valency, if you add 10 to it, you will get to know the group of that element. Understood? For example, aluminum if you take, boron if you take, their valence electrons are 3, and in which group they will come? Simply add a 10 to it, 13 group, that's it. Okay, all right. And let me come to the main point, that is valency along the group remains same, along the period. See here, I will take this typical, this one is called as typical elements or model elements. The third period we take it as a model elements: sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon. We will take this as a model elements. Okay. So, I will write the valency for that. See, sodium 281 KLM, third, all will have only 3 orbits. Okay. Magnesium, see here 282, aluminum 283, silicon 284, phosphorus 285, sulfur 286, chlorine 287, argon 288. Okay. See here, all are having K, L, M, only 3 cells. That's why all are kept in the third period. Understood? Okay then. So, if so, sir, the valence electrons are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. The valency up to 4 valency is okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 goes on increases valency. Okay. After 4 valency decreases. See here 3, 2, 1 and 0. Why, sir? Why it is so? Because you know that each atom wants to attain its nearest noble gas electronic configuration. So, if so, phosphorus wants to attain its nearest atomic, its nearest noble gas electronic configuration, that is argon. So, it wants to attain the 8 electrons in its outermost orbit. It has to take 3 electrons. That is why -3, -2, -1 like this. So, the first point what we discussed, valency. Valency means the combining capacity of an atom. So, that along the group increases for some time. After the reaching 4 valency, once again it decreases, whereas along the group remains the same. If it is there in the first group, valency is first. If it is there in the second group, valency is 2. If it is there in the 13th group, valency is 3. If it is there in the 18th group, valency is 0. Okay, right. All right. Valency is over. Next point we will discuss about the atomic size. So, atomic size means it is very difficult to measure the size of an atom. You know that atoms are smallest particle of an element. Okay, smallest particle of an element. Then how to measure it, sir? Very simple. You know that a diatomic molecules we will take, usually oxygen O2, hydrogen H2, chlorine Cl2, fluorine F2, like this. Understood? So, when they will form a covalent bond like this, and from the center of the nucleus to the nucleus to the other center of the nucleus. So, if you measure these two things and divided by 2, you will get the actual radius of the atom. Atomic size is also called as atomic radius also. Remember this, atomic radius. So, we measure this in terms of picometer, pm. Okay. So, 1 pm is nothing but 10 to the power of -12 meters, -12 meters. Understood? Atomic size or atomic radius. Okay, sir. So, what will be the atomic radius when you go down into the group or when you go along the periods from left to right or along the period? Okay, we will see. Lithium I will take having the size this much. Sodium, lithium is having 2 orbits, sodium is having 3 orbits, and potassium is having you know that 4 orbits. Okay, 4 orbits, 1, 2, 3, here it is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. If you come rubidium, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, 5 orbits, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So, like this, if you come, this is 2 orbit. So, if you see the size of an atom, you will very easily say that yes sir, the size of the atom increases along the group. Very good. So then what about the size of the, why, one more thing, why this size of the atom increases along the group, sir? Because you know, from second to third if you come, there will be one more shell going to add to it. From third to fourth if you come, one more shell is going to add it. So automatically the radius of atom increases. A shell is going to add in a group, that's why the size of atom increases. That is the point. Okay. Then what about the atomic size along the period, sir? I will take a sodium, see here, sodium which is having 3 orbit, 1, 2, 3, and a magnesium that is also having a 3 orbit. See here, it simply decreases. Why, sir? You know that I will write this in this manner: sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine. Okay. So this one is bigger, this one is little bit smaller than that, this one is even smaller, even smaller, even smaller, like this. So the size of the atom goes on decreases, because you know that along the group, along the period, the nuclear charges increases. So that nuclear charges attracts the valence electrons towards the nucleus and makes the size of an atom small. That is the reason. Understood? Okay then. So atomic size, I think you have understood. Then we will move on to the metallic character. Metallic character. So you can see here what is metallic character. Metallic character is nothing but any element or atom, if it gives out electron easily, donates a electron easily, then that element we call it as a very good metal. Okay, and which receives the or which accepts the electron, and that we call it as a non-metal. Okay, here lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, along the group if you go, hydrogen you just leave it as you know it is a non-metal, and because of its valency we have kept it in the first group. That is the only thing. If you come down, if you go along the group, then metallic character increases. Why, sir? Very simple. Okay. So if you see the lithium size, this is lithium size, this is sodium, this is potassium, rubidium, and strontium, cesium and francium. Okay. So if you see the distance between the nucleus and the outermost orbit, that is valence electron, you will find in the francium you will find more radius, so the outermost electron or the valence electron present here will easily escape out from the nuclear charges. That means it easily gives out the electron or easily donates the electron. That's why along the group metallic character increases. Okay, you need very lesser energy when you go down into the group. You need very lesser energy to donate the electrons. Why? Because the ionization energy will be less here. We will discuss the ionization energy also next. Okay, so once again along the period, or from left to right, if you go in the periodic table, what will be the metallic character? See here. So it goes on decreases, then non-metallic character increases. Why, sir? Because so sodium to magnesium and aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, if you go like this, the size goes on decreases and the nuclear charges increases, and we need more ionization energy, so that the metallic character along the period decreases, and gradually non-metallic character started increasing. Okay, that is metallic character. And non-metallic character also you can see here, non-metallic character. Non-metallic character, here we will not find non-metallic character, only the hydrogen, you know that non-metal. You can see here in the fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. If you come down in the 17th group, non-metallic character, if you see the non-metallic character goes on decreases there, exactly reverse of the metallic character in the group. Okay, along the group if you go, non-metallic character increases, I agree, but if you come down in the 17th group, you can see here, if you come down fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, so the fluorine is having more non-metallic character, being a smallest atom in the entire periodic table. It is the smallest one, so that there will be a very close distance for the valence electrons to the nuclear charge or the nucleus, so that it attracts the electrons very fastly or it receives the electrons very fastly. That is why fluorine is the most non-metallic element or atom, you can say. Understood? Okay. Then electropositivity and electronegativity. You all know that metals are giving a electropositive nature. So electropositivity once again increases with the electropositivity. Here remains same in the one group, here also remains same in the group, whereas if you go along the period, electropositivity increases for a certain time, after that it decreases. For example, you can see here sodium electropositivity +1, magnesium +2, aluminium +3, and then afterwards silicon plus or minus 4 you can take. Phosphorus once again it is -3. That means we are started seeing the electronegativity, means they started receiving the electrons. Understood? Okay, then next ionization energy, I will come to that point. Ionization energy. What is this ionization energy? Simply the atom, when it gives or when it donates or when atom receives an electron, then they become an ion. Okay, that means they need energy to donate electrons. Understood? Okay, then if so, suppose lithium is having a 2,1 as its electronic configuration, sodium is having 2,8,1, okay, and potassium is having a 2,8,8,1 is its electronic configuration, you know that. So its size is smaller, its is little bit bigger, its is even more bigger. Here if you compare these three elements, okay, potassium is having a 4 shell KLMN. So the valence electron which is present or which is there in the outermost orbit, the electrons which are there in the outermost orbit are less attracted by the nuclear charges, so that easily without giving much energy to relieve these electrons, easily we can take out those electrons. That means along the group if you move, they require a lesser ionization energy to make them into ion. Okay, so that means along the group ionization energy decreases. Along the period, you know that the size is going to decrease, the nuclear charges goes on increases, valence electrons come near to the nucleus, that requires more ionization energy to take out the electrons. Understood? So ionization energy along the period increases, along the group decreases. Got this point? Okay. Finally, one more property of this one we will discuss, then after we will just simply discuss the merits of this or importance of this periodic table. That is oxides. See, if you take a oxide of sodium which is basic, oxide of magnesium which is basic, so gradually if you take a aluminum oxide Al2O3 amphoteric in nature, then if you go to the oxide of non-metals, you can see the it is acidic. That means along the period oxides of the elements or atoms so changes from basic to amphoteric and amphoteric to acidic. You can see here sodium oxide, magnesium oxide are basic, aluminum oxide is amphoteric, phosphorus oxide and sulfur oxide, chlorine oxide, these are all acidic in nature. Okay. So, these are all points which are to be discussed or which are going to ask in your examination. So many points about this we have discussed. Now, let us see importance of modern periodic table. What is the importance of modern periodic table? You can see here I am using this modern periodic table as a tool for my teaching, first thing. Second thing, see if I say the first group, you will always say that sir first group is a alkali metals sir, they easily react with the water and gives a hydrogen. See the properties, you are not saying sir lithium, sodium and potassium are reacting with the water. You are not saying a individual element, you are simply saying that elements present in the single group, first group are alkali metals easily react with the water, gives a hydrogen gas. Understood? See, you are saying the properties of elements very easily. And one more important of this periodic table, you will even say that yes, these elements will come in this group and they are having this much of cell or orbits. Suppose if I say aluminum, you will say it is having only 3 orbits sir, K, L, M. Why? Because its outermost or valency is 3, it comes in the 13th group. Like this you always say so many things by using this one, and it makes the chemistry study very easy. It makes the chemistry study very easy and even it helps us to discover the undiscovered elements. Okay. So, as we discussed, the 7th period is an incomplete period. That means, if there are elements yet to discover which are there in the pipeline of discovery, you will very easily say that sir, they will be the non-metals only or radioactive elements only. Simply like this, so many properties you will guess and you will predict. Understood? So, like this, it makes the chemistry very easy. And I personally feel that, see, you can read this hydrogen, lithium, beryllium, boron like this. So, I can call this as the language of chemistry. You are reading it, and once if you learn this language, easily you can, write so many things on this in the chemistry as a word, as a sentence. Understood? So, totally this periodic table make the chemistry so easy. These are all the merits of periodic table. Okay, then so far we have discussed so many things. I think you people have understood. So, if you have any doubts still, please go through the book and we will come back with one more new video. Till then, so all of you be safe and stay in a home. Okay, then till then, bye bye.